Coverage you can count on at 6 starts now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jordan Titus. A swimmer who disappeared after helping rescue a young girl from a rip current in Myrtle Beach was found dead this morning. Myrtle Beach police and firefighters recovered the swimmer's body this morning near 12th Avenue South. Authorities say the swimmer entered the water Friday evening to help a girl who was caught in a rip current. They say the swimmer got her to safety before being pulled underwater. The Horry County Coroner's Office has not released the person's identity. Count on News 13 for updates as we work to learn more. And one person was taken to the hospital after a two-vehicle crash on Highway 17 bypass this morning. Horry County Fire Rescue says the crash happened near Harbor Town Drive and involved an overturned vehicle. The northbound lanes were blocked while crews responded, and one person was taken to the hospital with injuries. The South Carolina Highway Patrol is investigating with assistance from Myrtle Beach Police. Crews also responded to a crash on Highway 501 South near Waccamaw Boulevard and Tidewater Road. This vehicle landed on its side along the roadway, reducing traffic to one lane while crews worked the scene. We aren't sure whether anyone was hurt, but count on us for more updates. And just days away from the election, Republican candidates seeking to secure the nomination for Lindsey Graham's Senate seat appeared before voters looking to secure their votes. News 13's Maddie Cottaspati has more from the event.
Saturday morning's Senate stump, the 5 candidates involved in 2 debates earlier this week spoke on many different topics, with the most prominent being affordability, immigration, and overseas affairs.
We look at the numbers. Yeah, there are a lot of numbers that we could talk at length about, but it comes down to something a whole lot simpler. This race is, for me, based on, numbers, but what will those numbers buy us these days? There's an affordability question which ties largely to this theme of the American dream.
When you think about the price of rent and the housing shortages, do you know one of the biggest drivers of that? Illegal immigration. 20 million people were imported into this country in a 4-year span. It is unimaginable, it's unconscionable.
Under President Clinton and under George W. Bush, when they had the director of CARE, a Hamas terrorist organization, working beside them, telling our presidents how to deal with the Islamic threat in America. Do you think we got any good information
there? Other thing I will really do is try to help South Carolina and make aware the electrical problems that reason you're paying high taxes, high electrical prices to companies. Call attention to audits and get things done in the right way. I'll recruit businesses. I'll recruit good people who have nothing to gain the system to come to South Carolina.
The priorities are the families in South Carolina and how much they're struggling. I oppose illegal immigration. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris let 12 million illegal immigrants into this country. I'll help President Trump walk them right back out.
Also in attendance were 4 candidates who were not involved in the 2 debates earlier this week. Mark McBride, Samuel Shepard, Glenda Gale Parker, and Danny Ford II. The primary election is on Tuesday. Polls will be open from 7 to 7. In the newsroom, Maddie Cottaspati, News 13.
Senators have passed a sweeping bill to enforce new sanctions against Russia as a tribute to their late colleague, Lindsey Graham. The South Carolina senator died last month, and Graham was a longtime supporter of Ukraine's fight against Russia and an architect of the bipartisan measure passed today, with his sister now holding his seat in the Senate.
We are all aware of the tremendous bloodshed. For more than 4 years, Putin has wreaked havoc on the lives of everyday people, kidnapping tens of thousands of Ukrainian children and committing unspeakable acts. The war against Ukraine is primarily funded by the revenue Russia rakes in from energy sales. Without these profits, the ability to fund the war would be crippled.
The measure allows President Trump to impose tariffs on the top 5 purchasers of Russian oil and natural gas, including China and India. Meanwhile, President Trump will host a tele-rally Monday to support Darlene Graham's run for the full term in her late brother's seat. The president endorsed Darlene ahead of Tuesday's special Republican primary to take over her brother's spot on the November ballot. A North Carolina native and influencer, Mr. Beast, is granting some special wishes. The popular YouTuber and philanthropist is granting wishes to 100 children with life-threatening illnesses with the help of Toby's Dream Foundation. It includes a trip to the upcoming World Series for Harley Matella from Virginia, who was diagnosed with a rare cancer on his 17th birthday in January.
It's been pretty hard. I mean, probably the biggest thing was not being able to play baseball.
You never think it's going to happen to you or your family or someone you love, let alone your child. I think it hit his community even pretty hard, having this really strong, dominant athlete and figure that got knocked down by cancer.
Harley had to undergo multiple surgeries and several rounds of chemotherapy. His mom says he is now in observation mode. Other wishes for local children granted by Mr. Beast included gaming with him in his studio in Greenville, North Carolina. And the FAA is requiring certain models of planes to be inspected after concerns were raised about the safety of planes themselves. Marcus Espinosa has the full story.
The FAA issuing preemptive inspections of various 737 MAX models. The model itself has had issues since it launched back in 2017. Now the FAA trying to be more proactive in this approach. Models in question are the 737 MAX 8, 737 MAX 9, and 737 MAX 8200, all requiring inspection after older models with similar design and build features were found to have cracks on the bear straps of the plane. Bear straps are areas of reinforcement around the windows and doors of the plane. The FAA estimates it could impact almost 471 planes registered in the U.S. It is important to note that none of these planes under inspection order from the rule have seen reports of cracking. This is being done out of an abundance of caution. The inspections are set to begin on September 10th when the order takes effect. The FAA also so far not making any plans to ground any of the 737 MAXs during the inspection timeline. However, if cracks are found on a plane, it will not be allowed back into service until repairs take place. Boeing has released a statement on the order. They say they're aware of it and have been working with operators on it for the past 6 years. They have also already sent operator instructions on how to inspect and fix any issues in relation to the order. This is not the first time officials have raised safety concerns about Boeing planes. 2 major crashes took place on MAX 8s in 2018 and 2019, and in January 2024, an Alaskan airline flight's door blew off a MAX 9 due to missing door plug. The FAA says they have seen an improvement in the quality with Boeing airplanes in inspections and checks, and that they will be certifying them moving forward with further inspections like this. Back to you.
Still to come in this half hour, 2 new foodborne illness warnings that are raising concerns about the safety of our country's food supply as federal health officials continue to investigate. We'll have the full story after the break. But before we go, you're taking a live look over Myrtle Beach Boardwalk on this cloudy Saturday. You're watching News 13 at 6. Stay with us. More coverage you can count on. We'll be right back.